We live. We up. We live. Got the warrior training today. We got to get this thing up and popping. I don't see what the stream is doing. Let's check the chat. What you looking for? Yeah, put those up so we give it to my mom, please. If you would, young lady. Alright, so we are... It appears that we're streaming. Okay, so that went through. So let me go and reset the chat. And also, let's go ahead, send out black signal. Now, I sent out a mass black signal. Let people know we got warrior training, as well as letting people know they could join us. I sent them to Facebook, because that's where a lot of people are. So I sent it to the Facebook link. I should have sent them to the YouTube link, letting people know that we got multiple platforms that we could stream from, right? So it's pending. We'll know when the signal goes out. Sent it out at 10:53. We got about an hour and a half because I got to go on and get up to the school and get ready for today's activities. Got to get my daughter settled, and stuff like that. But we had a good night. Or at least I thought we had a good night. Ladies, did we have a good night?
Yeah. No.
No? One said yes, one said no.
I didn't like the sleeping part, but I liked...
You didn't like the sleeping part?
I didn't like when I had to go to sleep.
You didn't like... I'm talking about the father-daughter dance. Did you like the father-daughter
I
dance?
just liked the part.
Huh?
The whole thing. You didn't like dancing with Daddy? I like dancing with my friends.
She liked dance with her friends, but she didn't want to dance with her dad. I don't understand.
Because you forced me to dance.
Oh, I forced you to dance. Okay. So now, I paid for the dance. I paid.
No, you didn't.
And,
I did.
no, what you mean you paid for the... You ain't paid. Girl,
You gave me the money.
you ain't got an income. You ain't got an income. What is you talking about?
I do got an income.
If we don't get these reparations, you ain't even going to have an inheritance. So you better go on and just stop. You better go on and chill and just enjoy what I could do for you right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build, and then, I asked my daughter to dance, and, it's like pulling teeth. I don't think that's fair. So a black signal has went out. So family, first off, let me welcome you to the congregation of the mighty, where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Oh, anime is up. I let her sleep in today. This is a Heart of a Simba production. You know what I'm saying? Where we're going to complete our daily toast. I am your host, Brother Hatim, and this is a Heart of a Simba production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Yes. We're going to try to kill all this water. We got some things to talk about. I forgot to open the lines, so we're going to work on that. Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Drink. I should have said breathe. Family, grab your glass for that water. Get your bottle of that water. Don't show the label. Twist the top off that water. Lift and pour your water. Drink. Lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Come on, stretch it. Move your body, drink some water. What? Move your body, drink some water. Stretch. Just move your body. Drink. drink, drink, drink. Or should I say, move, then drink.
You are the first participant in this video conference. Please hold while we wait for the
Now let me raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then drink? How about this? Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. To stay healthy though, breathe, drink, move, eat, move. Got it? Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up with me, family. Come on, drink. Drink, 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 drink. Drink, 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 drink. Gotta drink, stay healthy, family. Family, we did it. 50 ounces. 50 ounces. We did it. I ain't gonna show the label because we working on getting water contracts. Listen, family, we did 50 ounces. Damn, I'm gonna pay for that.
Wow.
And I'm gonna pay for it in a good way. But hey, I am glad that those of you that's joining us for the toast, my daily toasters are out there. Y'all tuning in. I sent out a mass message. So those that are not used to getting a daily toast message, I apologize. Well, I don't really apologize. But what I want to say is because I wanted to make sure people knew that we had warrior training today from 2 to 6 p.m. Like I said, we raised a little bit of money, so we got a little bit of money for food. You know, so hopefully we'll have some food there, you know, because a lot of this stuff we do from the hip. You see that? Drip real fast from the hip, right? So we got to talk about some of the stuff that we have to talk about today is, of course, setting up for the mall. We are getting the equipment for security because, of course, we're going to use that to train the young people as well as the old people about security. So we're working on getting those microphones for that. We're going to have to prepare. We're going to get these shirts together. And then also getting for the mall overall how and where we're going to set up so that we can go and map out everything so that we will have absolutely no issues. Talk about who has already paid and getting things organized. And then also move off into talking with the young people about the Malcolm X revolutionary celebration that will be happening in May. So we got about 2 more months to get ready for that, and we got to do some major fundraising for that. And of course, family, I know y'all, you know I'm gonna be reaching out to the family because I want you to come out and we want you to have it as great a time as possible with as little cost to the community as possible. So we do a lot of stuff that we do with your help. You know what I'm saying? And y'all been coming through like a motherfucker, man. I'm just saying. The family been coming through, and I love it, and it makes me feel good that we have been able to do the festival that we have been doing for the last 2.5 years. You know what I'm saying? And then we moved up to the mall, and we able to do the training, and y'all been helping us support, and we've been able to feed the families that's been coming in and provide people with space so that they can get their wares off and doing all types of stuff. So, you know, for those that's like, oh, we don't do nothing in the community, shit, you got to come over and check us out over here at Gye-Nyame and see what we doing and see what time we doing and see what some of the other people in the community is doing. Now, some of y'all can sit around and complain, but there's some people out here, some tribes out here that's out here doing it, right? Right? So today, we got our Toast and Talk, so of course the lines are open. The number is 614-556-4535. Once again, that's 614-556-4535. Now, hold on. Put your phone down. Hold on. We need to do the toast first. We need to do the toast because we got a lot to talk about. There was a beautiful article that came out about reparations. I've been posting up some links on the timeline about some of the numbers that we are dealing with as a people. We talking about this widening wealth gap, right? A lot of us, we was concerned about salaries, but the shit we need to really be concerned about is this whole wealth transfer shit. There's a estimated $68 trillion about to be transferred from one generation to another. You know what I'm saying? And the question that we have to ask as black folks is, how much of that you get? Be honest. See, because a lot of us been lying for a long time. And the lies are coming home to roost. You know what I'm saying? Chickens coming home to roost never made me sad. That's they wasn't my chickens. You understand what I'm saying? And family. You know, I mean, a lot of us been come on now. You know, so it's a whole bunch of stuff. We could talk some of the health issues. We had some quotes that we didn't get over this week. So that if y'all want to discuss them, we could discuss them. All that is open. It's called Toast and Talk. What you want to talk about, push, y'all know I got reparations heavy on my mind. And I've been having it heavy on my mind for the last however long. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But it's been heavy on me as I look into these numbers and be like, ooh. Right? The college scandal that's out there, you know, we could talk about that and what that says about America and about us. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't scam my son. I can't afford that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're like paying $50,000 to get somebody else to take them up. What? How long has this shit been going on? Right? You know, because shit, I don't even know if they do the ACT anymore. I stumbled. I stayed out all night, stumbled in and did the ACT. Didn't have no money to take it again. They were like, oh, you got a 21. I'm like, 21, is that good or bad? Then I started listening to other niggas' number. I got a 15. Like, shit, I had a hangover doing that shit. So if I would have just focused, shit, I didn't even have no classes prior to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers was going there getting 28s and shit. And I'm like, you know, but then I seen, but they actually were studying for the ACT. I just said, fuck it, I'm going to take the ACT. They said I need this to go to college, so let's just go take the ACT. You know, I was like, we got to do the practice ACT, the pre-ACT, the blah, blah, blah. And they doing all this practice and getting tutored for this shit. And I'm like, man, I ain't got that dough. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I went in and did what I did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing about now, you know, motherfuckers got enough money just to pay people to go in and take the ACT. I was like, shut up. Shut the front door. Are you serious? Oh my God. I and I thought, I honestly thought my grandparents was doing good. We lived a good life. Or at least I thought it was. I was like, shit. But then you start listening to some of the shit that's been going on in America. And you're like, damn. So the reality start to hit. And there's nothing wrong with facing reality, fam. There is absolutely nothing wrong with facing the reality. You know what I'm saying? And and the reality is there is a space of time where we were actually removed and we were not allowed to compete in this. You know what I'm saying? We got to really deal with that. We got to really, really deal with that. As a country. Here as a country. And then also we got the discussion, because I've been listening to some of the Pan-African discussion about the ADOS, and it's kind of troublesome. Because some people think that these that the movements that's going on are mutually exclusive, and we need to really discuss that, right? Because it's not one or the other, at least from my angle. Now you're gonna have other people that feel totally different, but being somebody that had to tackle big things and look at things. There is a need for a multi-pronged strategy when you're dealing with large things. You know what I'm saying? Because of course you're going to have those diehards, and I'm just this, I'm team this, and you know what I'm saying? But I've never been one of those, because I have been able to see the value and benefit from the value of many different things, right? And I understand that strategy requires us to be able to be adaptable and be able to adjust. Now, like it's sort of like fighting. In some fights, you might just be able to get away with using your hands, but with other people that are more skilled, you might not have to start be able to utilize your not just your hands, but your elbows, right? Your shoulders, right? Your knees and your feet. You know what I'm saying? Which makes you a more formidable opponent for an individual. Then some individuals you might have to use not only the hands, but the elbows, the forearms, the shoulders, the head, the knees, and the feet, and be able to take down and dismantle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like fighting, So when I'm looking at what's going on with black people all over the world, I have to first look at where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? Because the reality of where I'm at hits me immediately, and it hits my children immediately. I am in America, right? The United States of America, with a specific claim. And family, please understand this, because like I heard somebody say that in order to defeat white supremacy, we have to all rise up at the same time. In order to defeat white supremacy, black folks all over the world, good morning, Mr. Aaron Thomas, have to rise up at the exact same time. Good in theory. Great theory. But what's the possibility of that? When you're taking down an enemy, oftentimes what happens, and just stick with me for a second. Oftentimes, in order to take down an enemy, there are small reactions that lead to a large reaction. Matter of fact, let's look at the atomic bomb. So what happens with atomic bomb, from my limited understanding of it, very limited, you have something released that causes an atom to split. And when that atom splits, it shoots off. And in shooting off, it runs into other atoms, causing them to split. And those atoms then run off and split. So when you start with one, that one goes to two, that 2 goes to 4, the 4 goes to 8, the 8 goes to 16, and it's happening, and then, boom, so you got this rumble, and then all of a sudden it grows. Shouts out to Miss Kimberly, right? It grows, but it grows from a chain reaction. And what people have to understand is that what's happening with ADOS is a part of something that's going to cause a chain reaction for us all over the world. Please understand this. Please understand this, right? See, because in order for a large explosion to happen, there has to be a bunch of small explosions popping off in sequence, causing one explosion, causing another, to where it's happening so fast and so rapidly that it all appears to be one big bang. But, maybe someone don't understand that. Maybe someone's understand that one big bang, right, is really one big bang. But in actuality, it's trillions and trillions and uncountable smaller explosions happening on a level that you cannot even perceive. And what's happening right now with us in America is these small explosions. Now, of course, people are like, well, you're selecting people out, you're pushing people out, and you're becoming xenophobic. No, we're identifying the tribe that will be able to push through what it is we're talking about, whether it's totally successful or not. What's xenophobic about being clear about who your tribe is? Somebody, like I said, the comments are open. Feel free to comment. Lines are open. So let me go and do this toast, because I want to really get into this, because I don't want people to be, I can't stop it, but it's like all this mutually exclusive strategies that people be having, and where they be like, it's like you can't be into yourself and blah blah blah, and it's like we're depending on, we need to be able to attack regionally, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, just like with the fighting, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for where your weakness is, and I'm going to attack that weakness until I'm able to take you down, right? If I'm hitting you in your strengths, and I'm just throwing jabs to just be throwing jabs, and there's no reason for me really to be throwing the jabs, there's no strategy behind me throwing the jabs, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I'm just throwing kicks. No, I have to identify what it is that I'm trying to, after watching you in the few seconds that we have in our combat, where is the opening, right? I'm not just throwing shit out here to just throw. I'm not just throwing just to throw. I'm throwing to see where is an opening, just like you're waiting for an opening from me. As soon as I get the opening, I'm taking full advantage. Right now in America, we as black people have an opening. We cause a discussion. We causing a disruption. And right now people are wondering, well, damn. Even some white people is like, damn, there is a that old. They don't totally agree with the amount, You know what I'm saying? But damn, you know what? Y'all wasn't able to compete, and shit. There needs to be a remedy for this shit, right? But we like, nah, yeah, we're leaving out our black people, the black people diaspora. We need to bring a big claim against white supremacy. What the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, like what? I mean, is there a court of white supremacy? No, but there is a federal court of the United States of America. There's a court of Portugal, and you know what I'm saying? We got to cause chain reactions, because what the shit we do here in America, people repeat all over. We do hip hop. We come out with corny dances and shit. It's all over the world in a matter of hours. When the shit is hot, it's hot. Right now in America, we have an opportunity. We are sitting on something that is hot. We're sitting on you know what I'm saying? Because they can't say that reparations is impossible, because when these motherfuckers want reparations, I want y'all to think about this shit. Do y'all know Haiti paid reparations to France? Let me say that shit again. Do y'all know Haiti paid reparations to France? Do you know that some slave owners got reparations because their property was taken after the Civil War? Do y'all not? I mean, there is standing grounds for this shit, right? There's a legal precedent. I think that's what they call it. I'm not, I leave that to the lawyers and shit. There's a legal precedent for this shit all over the world, and we sitting over here, failing and fueling what's going on in the world, especially what's going on in America. So when we get ours here, we're opening the doorways to everywhere else, just like when we look at what happened with Marcus Garvey's movement, because Marcus Garvey was able to spark it here, nowhere else. Family, y'all can talk all that shit you want, nowhere, because he was able to spark it here. This shit spread like wildfire. I'm just saying, and we really need to think about this. Here, for some reason, for some blessing of our ancestors, through the Creator, whatever, however you want, we have a Midas touch on shit. And when we start moving on shit here, other people start moving on shit. This is why they're able to spread foolishness. You know what I'm saying? Because we got motherfuckers taking over, in media, and we got all this foolish shit spreading out here through the media because it's hot in America, it's hot everywhere else. I remember when I was in Africa, y'all know, I use the word nigga a lot, right? I mean, y'all know this. But when I was in Africa, I was riding in a car with a young man, and he saw somebody he know, and he said, "Hey, my nigga!" And I was like, I looked at him. He was like, "Oh, it's okay for one black person to say it to another black person. I can't be mad at you because you got that shit from us." Right? That's specifically an American thing that traveled all over the world. People know this. All over the world. Why? Because it started here. So for some reason, black folks in America have been positioned to cause change and cause chain reactions all over the world. All we have to do is embrace it. And it starts to spread. So once this ADOS movement it's already got traction, but once it really starts to move, people have to really think about, just forward think about how this is going to change things for black folks all over the planet. then other oppressed people in other places are going to have to just think about how this is going to change things for oppressed peoples all over the planet. We got to start thinking bigger than just. But without any further ado, let me put out my last little bit because I got to get I got to get the fermenting, family, because I am on. I thought I had some bottles hid, but I'm on my last. I ran into a brother Rasul last night. Brother Rasul told me, he said, "Man, I'm gonna have chickens and I'm gonna be having eggs. When can I get my ambrosia?" See, so he gonna have chickens and he's going to be having eggs. I'm going to be having ambrosia, so I'm gonna be able to trade with him for eggs and he gonna get ambrosia. Y'all see the cycle, right? He gonna have eggs and we gonna have a monthly market, and he's going to be able to push off healthy eggs that he has actually been involved with the growth of, because he brought the chicks out so my daughters and my son could see the chicks last night. You know what I'm saying? And
this call is being
he's
recorded.
even moving towards having duck eggs. So he's going to be able to bring that to the market, and him and Cleve is going to be able to trade amongst themselves for greens and eggs, and then me and him going to be able to trade for greens and for ambrosia and eggs. And then when he get ready to start having chickens, come on now, you know, black folks love chicken. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, I'm fresh. You know where this chicken came from. You go visit this motherfucker and see where these chickens come from. It's a whole nother level that we're getting on here, family. You know what I'm saying? It's starting to trade. So now we got the brother with the chicken and the farm and the farmstead right here. I seen it. I seen what he built. Went over there one day, and I went over there and dropped him off there last night. I'm like, wow, bro, you did a lot, you know? And he asking about the ambrosia. I'm like, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's like, yo, so this Mall Peach family is about to go to another level. And then those of you that be needing cleaning supplies, we got somebody that been working those coupons. They're going to be there. We got the jewelry there, like the sister that she had. She created the little crown with the family. You got to come out. Who this breathing hard on my line? It got to be Shaka. Let me see. Oh my God! It is our correspondent from Wazadugu. How you doing, Miss Kim?
Yay! You got it right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I got my tickets, and I seen you got tickets. So we're gonna talk about that too. But what's going on, sis?
Oh gosh, I just want to chime in on that the university scandal because I just, you know, for me, you know, everybody has their own vantage point, but for me, I wasn't totally surprised from my experience, from what I have seen. I've seen the disparity and how rich people have access to education that poor people don't have, and even middle-class people don't have it, like the super wealthy. I have been in positions to see that. So it didn't strike me as a surprise. I'm just happy that everybody else can see it. Because a few years ago, I'm on a Facebook thread of university people and Ivy League people and things like that. And so I was saying something about these Facebook posts and articles about kids getting into 30 colleges or black kids getting into all these Ivy League schools. And I said, you know, these articles are misleading. That is not what's going on here. And if anything, when we see something like that, you know, we should comment in a way that we don't want to put the kid down for the work that they put into it, but we need to highlight the fact that that's a lie. You know, you got...
Hello? Uh-oh. Y'all got to realize that Sister Kim is calling in from Africa. So her line goes in and out. So she'll be able to call back in, and we will be able to, because this happens. You know what I'm saying? So family, we real here at Gye-Nyame Journey, right? And so now chiming in on that piece, because now she could correct me when she come back on, because she gonna call right back in. But what I'm picking up is that what happens is that they use the minority of the ones of us that are able to do all these things to try to blow it up. Like, y'all see everything is equal. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for example, people be like, y'all got rich people. Y'all got people with money. So they'll bring up Oprah. Or they'll bring up the one person that was able to get into these 30 universities and stuff like that. And rather than allowing us to know what's really going on. They get us to look at the outliers rather than look at the regular. So go ahead, Sister Kim, finish your point.
Thank you. I'm so glad you kept me going on that. So I just wanted to add that about the whole university scandal. I don't want us to take our feet off the fire and understand what's really going on with this university thing. And that scandal, as bad as it is, it's not a scandal that really hurt us. That's a scandal that hurt kind of rich white people, the millionaires. That's what hurt them. Because if you're a millionaire, you can't pay $500,000 to get your kid into school. A millionaire can't do that.
No.
That's billionaire game.
Yeah.
So the people who are pissed are them. So let's get, this is not our fight. We need to understand that. Yes, it's an issue. Yes, it's bad. Yes, it is. But we need to understand it's the millionaires who are really pissed about this. And because when they pay $250,000 for their kids to go to school, that's a chunk out of their $1 million. That's $250,000. And if you got two kids, that's $500,000. So that's a lot of money if you just a millionaire.
Hey, shit, that's a lot of
money. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I want us to keep into perspective. That's all I'm saying. That's what I want us to keep into perspective about that scandal. I can say, I'm an educator, and I can say a lot about this, but my thing is, I just hope that Black people, we understand our position.
And that's why we stress in Gye-Nyame knowing where you are, when you are, and why you are. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, we don't really know. Now, my issue with it, because I will say it's not our fight, but the one piece that we're going to get to see is the justice system, how the justice system deals with this situation. Because family, I want y'all to think about this, because she brought up the whole college scandal piece, but I want y'all to think about this, right? Just here in Ohio, a few years ago, we had a sister who was put in jail, I think, because she just wanted her child to go to a better high school, so she falsified her address. She went to jail, right? She went to jail with no money involved. No real money involved. We got motherfuckers falsifying shit, getting in some cases, getting into private universities. And if I'm correct, the money that was paid was masked as a donation, which once again goes back to tax fraud. So we got these white folks with this money that's gonna try to spend it to us as if they should not be going to jail. But the point, in fact, that I am looking forward to is I want us to really see how they deal with this, because I know we know, but it is a beautiful thing when we are able to have an actual picture of justice, how justice is for us, how justice is for them. We say we know, but I think we need an actual physical slap so that we can actually get it. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole piece is, listen. Oh, they was only 20 years old. They didn't know. Come on, family. Just imagine if that was one of us at 20. Hell, you're held to adult standards at 14. Don't believe me? Let's look at Tamir Rice. You mean to tell me that you couldn't look at that young man and tell that he got adult justice? So fuck this young child shit. They broke the law. They were part of breaking the law. Matter of fact, some of us know grandmamas who the grandchild was selling dope and hooked the grandma up, and the grandma lost everything because she accepted a gift from her grandson. Come on now. I'm just saying, because like, hey, we want to balance out the playing field. Let's balance out, let's balance it out in the courtroom too. Crime is crime, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now, cause y'all already know that I'm hurt over this Manafort shit. Not because I give a fuck about Manafort, or not because I give a fuck about, but this motherfucker and other motherfuckers like him have been defrauding the country, and you send these motherfuckers to jail for 4 years? And I got somebody who never had a record, I got family member that never broke a law. Going to jail for 8 years for some bullshit? Are you serious? Come on now. If we gonna have, because y'all say that everybody talking about it's fair, right? Nah. How about all those families in Atlanta? Do y'all remember that shit when these teachers was cheating to help these kids pass, supposedly cheating to help these kids pass the test? Man, did they slap them on the hand and be like, oh no, motherfuckers is serving time. So with this college scandal, right, the way it affects me is I need to see somebody get some time. Who on the line? Is this you back, Sister Kim? Yup. Can you hear me? Go ahead.
I get back in.
So she back.
It's hard for me when I'm off. I can't hear you. But you were talking about the African diaspora.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you were saying how people are saying that we're being xenophobic. Okay, this is my take on it. I don't believe I'm going to tell you this front out. The problem is the messenger. Yvette Carnell really does not understand Africans and Africa. I'm just going to say it. And when she talks about this, her message comes out negative. It does not come out positive. When Antonio Moore talks about it, he still don't really understand Africa that well. That's fine. He said he went to South Africa once. Yvette Carnell says she's been in Liberia once.
Right.
That's not a lot. They don't know Africa, okay? So when they talk about it, some of the things they say really from a person who understands Africa and Africans, some of them, they think that these people really don't understand, and they don't. However, we are a distinct group. We do have something special with the American government, and they do owe us. Let's just focus on that.
Right.
And not be anti. Sometimes when they say, they came here and they took our affirmative action, okay, that is true. But at the same time, it was given to them. They didn't steal it. It was a gift. Hello?
I'm listening. I'm
okay.
thinking.
I'm sorry. I never know when you drop. That's the point. When they get, there's no other box for them to tick. There's no other box for them to tick. Yvette Carnell says, why don't they just be like white people? Because they can't. Okay? There's no other box for them to tick. And they didn't create that system. They did ride somebody else's wave, but okay, there was nobody saying they couldn't.
Or when, as you said, there was.
That's my only.
No, I'm saying, and as you said, there was no other box for them to tick. You know what I'm saying? Because
and there still isn't.
So I feel you on that piece. Now, and I'm just like, yo, but one of the issues that will be used against us as Americans, as ADOS, is, well, we ain't gonna pay everybody. So there has to be some identifying piece that we have to work on, or as America has to work on, so that we can start truly identifying ADOS.
And we should do that.
Huh?
They should have done that. We were sold out when they did civil rights. They should have did that right then and there, and we wouldn't have this problem. They should have did it over 50 years ago.
But you know,
we're doing something that should have been done.
But you know what that sounds like. That sounds like, because it's like, because sometimes I hear people look at data and be like, I would, here's a better example. If I was in slavery, they would have never did that shit to me, because I would have, or we should have. There was no way that because really you got to think about in the 60s and the 70s, we were trying to connect with the continent. So it was kind of a benefit for us to do that, because we wanted to make our struggle bigger. So there's no way that in the civil, I don't think that they sold us out. What I'm saying is that they didn't have the prophetic ability to see how this shit would hit us later. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, because
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You're right to a certain degree. You're right to a certain degree. I agree, because we didn't have the experience we have now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really, it's sort of like when I went for child support. I'm getting personal. When I went for child support, you know what I'm saying, and motherfuckers explaining to me about child support, and and I'm asking questions, and the response is, you should have thought about that before you had sex. Well, nigga, I never really had sex. I don't have nobody to talk to me about this shit. You know what I'm saying? I shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know what I'm saying? So we can't get into that and be like, because I met some of the soldiers from the civil rights movement. You understand what I'm saying? I worked with some of those soldiers. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't sell us out. They did what they could. They brought us as far as they could. Now, as ADOS, we have to take it to the next level, because what's going to happen, what people don't understand is the way we are branding. I want you to think about this, Sister Kim. The way we are branding the civil rights, the way we are treating some of our elders, we have to be very clear that 30 years from now, some of our young people, after they got the experiences that they have, are going to be looking at us and possibly saying the same shit about us, because we didn't have the foresight.
No, you're right. You're right. I agree. You're right. No, I totally agree.
So we have to
totally agree. And yeah,
we have to be very careful about that.
But we do. But we also have to, like you said, right now is crucial. I'm going to share something with you somehow. Maybe I'll put it on your newsletter if I get a chance to send it to you. But in 2016, I actually made a PowerPoint slide for my family. And I made a video. I was living in Malaysia at the time. I made a video, and I sent it to my family. And I said, we had a crucial time, because America is getting ready to have the biggest wealth transfers in history. And I told my family, I said, in the 50s, even like the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the 50s and 60s, you had bigger families. Like, you have a parent, and maybe they have 5 and 6 kids. Yeah, their house may be worth a lot, but it's 5 or 6 kids who got to share that, okay, when they pass on. These people had 1 or 2 kids. So their house may be worth like $1 million, and maybe they have another house, maybe they have other things. So when they pass on, those kids equally may inherit between $500,000 and up. And you're going to have blocks of people getting this, neighborhoods of people getting this. I said, so we really need to come together. We need to start buckle down. We need to think, how are we going to deal with this? How are we going to prepare our kids to deal with this? You're going to be working on jobs with people who who have $1 million. And they're going to start messing with your mind because they can lose their job. They can play around with their job, but you need your job.
Right.
So how are we going to handle this? And I made the presentation for my family, but of course, it didn't move. Nothing happened with it, but there was some core things that I felt like we needed to do to prepare for what's getting ready to happen. And I didn't even really know about all the data that Antonio Moore has collected. I was just thinking demographically, how the property that they have, the value that they have. If they have a home, if they have life insurance and another home, then that's $1 million plus for white folks. And you got 2 kids, 1 or 2 kids, and that's basically all they have. That's what they're going to inherit.
Word. I want to say good morning
we
to
need
Whitley.
to be ready to live in that world because those people are going to be your coworkers and your bosses. And they're going to F with us.
Oh, hey, we just got because we got to get ready. But now a lot of us is getting this data because I know everybody is talking to different people every day. And like I said, it's sort of like that atomic explosion. It starts with 1 and that 1 becomes 2 and, it grows exponentially. And what's happening right now, we're witnessing the growth exponentially because information is being passed on. You know what I'm saying? Because right now I got 3 people on the line right now that are watching me that I have never seen on the show before. So it's like the information is getting out and now people are starting to see. So those that are on my Facebook page, I would challenge you to go to Gye-Nyame Journey on Facebook and look at some of the posters up there. Skip past all my videos because I do videos every day, right? But go on and look at some of the posters up there. You know what I'm saying? And also take some time and if you can, join the actual group, not the page, join the group because we got other stuff that's being posted up there. 1, for motivation. 2, so that you can be informed. Because, motivation without information is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It causes illusions. It causes pains. Causes heartache. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to think it's about you not getting up early enough. And it's not about, it's about something that you did wrong in the past when in fact the past in a sense has wronged you. And your view may be wrong. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we can make corrections and we can help make. There are corrections that can be made for what you may be owed. Ain't even maybe old, but what you are old. And family, it's coming. So we got somebody calling in from Mount Vernon, Ohio. Who this be?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing? Who this?
It's Aaron Thomas.
How you doing, sir? Long time no hear.
Well, right. We got another caller with us.
We got another who?
We got another visitor with us. I brought with me.
Cool. How y'all doing today?
All right, peace, brother. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Just sitting here with my brother Aaron. He invited me on the show.
Yes, sir.
And, I took him up on that offer.
Okay.
I was just sitting here watching you from the study.
Yes, sir. It's good. Thank you for joining us. You feel free to come on in when y'all ready. Now, but let me do this because I think we're about to start getting, because I think some of the Daily Toasters are waking up. And hopefully we get some more people. But let's do this toast real quick so that we go salute our ancestors and stuff. So those that, I'm going to ask you to have some patience because this part takes a while, right? So first we call on the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that creator and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? We go to our list of our ancestors. Now, for those that are new to the show, we salute our personal ancestors, right? Now, of course, in your own ceremonies, you could go on and do a lot of the other ancestors, but I felt it was, it's a passion for me to inspire people to look at some of the treasure that they have in their own family that they are overlooking, trying to see some of the famous names, right? When it was Big Mama keeping you alive, It wasn't Malcolm X. Malcolm X was cold, but it was Big Mama that kept you alive. It was Big Mama that kept you out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? So I want people to start plugging back into their own bloodline, right? And also, when it comes to this whole reparations piece, to always, for us to be able to look back and look at some of the struggles that some of our ancestors had to kind of fuel us for this battle that's coming. Because we're going to need to be pulling on some of these memories and be like, damn, even though I think I got it hard now, shit, I couldn't imagine being black in 1920. You understand what I'm saying? So, hey, so here we go. I'm going to start off with the list. Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert and Texana Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilley, George and William Walter, Chris and Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvar Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pimenel, No More X, and Pat Mott Ra, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulliam, the Luxter brothers, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Grinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Augusta, Sue Shell, Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary, Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keistler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles, Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.E. Johnson, Delrita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr. Excuse me. Are y'all taking a bath? Sasha, did you take a bath?
No.
Real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. Sorry. James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hannah Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey and Eleanor Howe, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II. I don't hear no water. Vinnie Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dillamon Aries, Jean and Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Pears, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DePretis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Haley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pena Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Bookie, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Glebus, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimbo Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman, Kate Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Jean Abel Baker, Aaron Eno Baby Hatch as Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Kofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Times, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erleton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Ramey, Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Kofer, George Swan, Edmonia Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. On to the new list that we're building. Joella Giles, James Carswell, Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang, Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Lady, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McCarroll, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacy Trice, Anisha Gorey, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid Isin, also known as Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, and Daniel Tilley, and Angeline Gant. We lift up our glass to all of our ancestors, and I thank each and every last one of you for trusting me to take care of the ancestors, because hell for African is being forgotten, and family, we can never forget our tribe members. We got to lift them up, and we do this on a daily basis here, and we say, Ashe. From there, we move to right now, this present moment, and speeding through this moment right now, we are on Kuumba, right? I'm asking everybody to activate your reticular formations. We are going to find Kuumba in our community. We are on a hunt. Take a picture of it. Share it on your timeline. And if you would be so kind, share it on Gye-Nyame Journey's page so that we can see it. Uh-oh. Okay. I'm late because my niece is, shouts out to Brother Kwame. I see you. All right, so we lifting up our glass. We lifting up our glass to the present moment. We are in creativity. The motto principle today is order. The color is orange. Didn't feel like going downstairs, so you got the black shirt. I love the black shirt anyway. Cause and effect is the hermetic law today. Male name for the day is Kwame. It's your day. It's your day, Kwame. It's your day. It's your day, Kwame. It's your day. It's your day, Kwame. It's your day, Kwame. It's your day, Kwame. It's your day. And shouts out to all the female. And the name for the day is Ama. Ama. It's your day, baby. All right, so listen. We lift up the glass salute in the moment because the moment is all we got. In this moment, we are in a pact with our past to never forget and to learn from their mistakes so that we can move forward faster, stronger, and more powerful. And also to lay the foundation for the next generation, right? For those yet to be. So we salute this moment. We say Ashe. From there, we salute our children, our children's children, on to infinity because we are in the pact. And we want to remember them in advance. So we lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there, we move to all of our relations. We toast and we say Ashe. From all our relations, this is that selfish toast, family. This is for you. What is it that you need in this moment to be the greatest of all time? Because it all happens in the moment. It's a chain reaction. One small greatness lead to another greatness. On. Is a chain, like a domino effect, family. One small thing. Right? Ashe. From there, family, I toast the most powerful, most beautiful, most enlightening, most uplifting, most inspiring, most unifying individual, self-determined, responsible, cooperative, purposeful, creative, trustworthy individual in the room. And you know what that is? It's you. So we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. Now I'm going to sip on this. And my caller's on the line. Y'all called in. Y'all got something y'all want to discuss? Or y'all just listening in? Y'all just want me to ramble? What's going on? Oh, my God. Oh, they got me on mute, but that's cool. Well, you know. So, all right. So, family, all right. Back to our discussion because the big piece for us for the last few months has been this thing about reparations. Oh, let me remind you that speaking of reparations and us doing stuff for ourselves, I want to remind everybody that we are having warrior training today at 2. From 2 to 6 p.m., we will be discussing the mall. We will be discussing the mall and our roles at the mall. And then we're going to discuss the Malcolm X Festival. Then we're going to get into our warrior training. You know what I'm saying? So, depends on what the vibe is at the time and how many people are there. We'll move on. But now, far as the Malcolm X Festival, we are going to have to set up weekly meetings ASAP. So I'm going to be working on that this week, getting something together, get a day together so we can start getting the people in, so we can start doing it. All those trainers out there that may have some skills that you want to share with the young people as well as the adults, by all means, get in touch with me so that we can start making sure that we start spreading this wisdom and this energy around. Coming up on the 30th of the month, we will be having our G&J Mall. Come on out, family. We had a beautiful time last month, and that was because of you. So this means that if we're going to have a beautiful time this month, it's also going to include you. We need you. You know what I'm saying? Come on out. Show some love. You know what I'm saying? Come and commune with some of your community. Come. You might find something that you need. We got all types of vendors that are already signed up, and I'm quite sure we're going to get a few on that day. But family, I need to warn the vendors. When you come that day, the low price of $20 will be gone. On that day, it will be $40 to set up. So please, pay in advance. And the reason that we're trying to get you to pay in advance is this. Because we want to fill up that building. But part of filling up the building is that we want to also bring in entertainment. So one of the things I'm looking into, I want to be able to bring DJs. I want to be able to bring bands. I want to be able to get this money flowing in our community. It ain't just about Gye-Nyame stacking money. You know what I'm saying? It's about us growing together. So there's musicians, there are artists, there are people with skills that we need to be able to bring in. And I want to be one of those that's able to do that. You understand what I'm saying? Also, on that same day, we will be also having our monthly movie night. And the movie that we will be watching is called White Man's Burden. Now, I know a lot of y'all like, oh, no. See, a lot of y'all too young to remember this. This was a movie that starred Harry Belafonte. This is one of Elder Harry's last movies. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, I ain't gonna say, because maybe that wasn't. I'm gonna say that's Harry Belafonte was in the movie and John Travolta, and it's a flip on how modern society is, and it's a real good discussion starting movie. I want you to come out. It's going to be hot. We're going to have a good discussion. And then before the movie even start, come out early enough so that you could go and you could go on and check out some of the vendors. Go and support the vendors. We're going to have food vendors there. Somebody going to be selling fish this time. Right? Listen, family, it's going down. So we're going to have the vegans. We're going to have, if you're a vegetarian, we got you. If you're a vegan, we got you. If you're a meat-eating savage, we got you. Come on out. Enjoy yourself. We're going to have, somebody had chicken last time. We're going to have fish this time. We're going to have fries this time. It's going to be going down. And then on top of that, we got a Yanni Spa there. Yep. You know, we're going to have the jewelry there. We're going to have some clothes there. We're going to have a sister that does the coupon thing. So you're going to be able to buy you a box and get you all your cleaning supplies for that month. And be like, I got to get back to the mall. We're trying to really create some synergy here. All right, so now getting to this. I need to reload this page. They might have took it down. But this was an article from Vox that I wanted to share with the family. Vox is one of my, it's one of my favorites because, you know, they do good videos and they do good articles. So when I got time to read, I sit down and read some of their stuff, but I really enjoy the little short videos where they be breaking stuff down. So one of the things that they brought out maybe 2 weeks ago was the 2020 Democratic primary debate over reparations. So this shit has went beyond YouTube. Now you got presidential campaigners. Like, damn, we got to deal with the questions of reparations. We want black folks involved. You know what I'm saying? We want, because what a lot of people don't even understand is that this whole piece is going to move beyond just black people. Now, I ain't talking about everybody getting reparations because there are going to be allies. It's like, you goddamn right they deserve it. And if you don't have the conversation, you don't have my vote. If you don't have the actions and the deliverables, you don't have our votes either. We got to understand this is moving just beyond our community because people understand that this is affecting America. It's not just affecting black America. People talk about national security, right? Oh, we got to do this for national security. Why don't y'all Let's talk about what national security is. Yes, you can have strong walls. Yes, you can have a strong military. Yes, you can have all that shit. But if you have a disgruntled group that you have nowhere else to send, there's nowhere you can send us. Nowhere that you can send. We, far as America, we are America. This is what a lot of people don't understand, right? There's no place for us to go. So when America was incorporated, when America was created, the blood sacrifice for that was us, was our identity. In order to build America up to where it was, all of us we were the sacrifice. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, you know, because some of us get so spiritual that we can't even use the spiritual concepts to really understand what happened. We were transformed as a group. And we are now here. We have no home. This is our homeland. This is our homeland. We were created here in the crucible of America. We were created. We were reformed. We were recreated, and we are Americans. So now, what do? How safe is your country if you got over 30 million disgruntled motherfuckers that's looking at the clock tick down to their wealth being at zero? That is a total national emergency. Not only is it a national emergency, it is a threat. It is a deep internal threat that you just can't go in and just cut out. It's going to cost too much. It's going to cost too much. It's cheaper just to it's cheaper just to fix it. We have to understand that, family. We have to understand that, and we have to start being able to be in rooms where people are going to be uncomfortable with us talking about this, but we have to talk about this. Not only as black people, but we got to be able to talk about it with our white friends. We got to be able to talk about it with our Hispanic friends. We have to let everybody understand, because unlike we have no home outside of here. So what happens when you got a whole totally disgruntled group? We are in the military. We are in classified areas. We are in politics. We are in state government. We are in state institutions. We are in county institutions. We are in national institutions. And they're suffering. They're viewed as a bottom caste because you as a country, you as a group have decided to ignore them or to benefit from their suffering. That creates a national threat. Especially when you run around the world talking about, I'm making the world safe for democracy. Come on, fam. Give me a fucking break. Come on, fam. Hold on. Up by 15 going. Oh, okay. Brother Kwame giving us the step-by-step of the Nubians basketball team. You know, and they're up by 15. He says Ariana and Alexia Smith are playing their asses off in the state title game. Oh, this state title. Looks like Afrocentric is going to get a 7th state title. Not to take away from the conversation, though. And Uncle is just proud of his nieces and the rest of the Afrocentric Lady Nubians basketball team. Ain't nothing wrong with that, brother. That's not taken away from the conversation, right? But in a sense, it's adding, because I create space and time. That's my superpower. So I could create space for that. You know what I'm saying? So let's go on and look at this Vox article. All right. Openly talking about reparations for the descendants of enslaved men and women is a notable shift for Democrats, but the conversation still lacks substance. This came out March 11, 2019, and is by P.R. Lockhart, if you want to look it up yourself. A new 2020 litmus test has arrived for the Democrats running for president. Do they support reparations? Is the question. It marks a turn in a primary contest in which black voters are expected to play a significant role. That the attention to reparation has become so prominent speaks to a series of changes. Shouts out to Brother Quasi, thank you for sharing, that have occurred in recent years. Namely, the increased academic understanding of the public attention to the ways a history of slavery and discrimination has fueled disparities like the racial wealth gap. I posted some information about this up on the timeline. Family, go to this article, click that link, or go to the Gye-Nyame Journey page. Look at it, because what the racial wealth gap show you is that there is a systematic process moving that's separating us from wealth. It's a purposeful thing, and it needs to be corrected by government, by transformative government, and we have to understand this. We have to be able to discuss this with people that want our votes, that want stuff from us. You understand what I'm saying? We are in a position now of power. We are in a position of, and I know a lot of y'all like, no, we only assert. No, what you have to understand is this: when you start waking up, and for example, when you was young, if you ever dealt with a bully, and you really start seeing that this bully don't really want to fight, the bully just want to win, right? and you finally make the decision up in your mind, it's better that I get my ass beat by this bully than to allow him to continue messing with me. I no longer care. And this is the point where many of us in America are getting, especially those of us that came up. I'm right up under the boomers. I missed that. I missed the boomer piece by 4 years or some shit like that. I'm right up under the boomers. So I'm in a nowhere's land, right? I'm in a generation where for my generation, well, let me speak for me, because some of y'all gonna deny it. Some of y'all living in la la land because you have access to credit, and you think that because you got access to credit, you got access to wealth. That's some dumb shit, right? I'm just gonna be all the way real with you, right? My grandfather lived a certain lifestyle. I was talking to my mom the other day. My grandfather and my grandmother's lifestyle was above the lifestyle that my mom lives today. And my mom made more money than my grandfather made in his life, right? Now my life is below my mother's life, right? So what I'm seeing in our family is a descent through each generation. Now, what blew my mind was that my mom told me that I'm making twice what my grandfather was making when he was at his max. And so maybe some of y'all don't feel that, right? I thought I was making the same amount. My grandfather made half of what I made and was able to live the lifestyle that he lived. And you know, listen. So people don't understand why I get upset. Why I'm sitting up here like, damn, because none of this shit made sense to me until I really started digging in and listening to the young folks on this ADOS shit. It didn't make sense. You know what? Am I just you know what I'm saying? Am I just fucking up? Like I said, once again, I got to that whole motivational shit where people is like, you're not getting up early enough, you're not working hard enough, you're not grinding. And I'm sitting up here like, well, goddamn, I'm doing all that shit. The fuck going on? But go ahead. Somebody on the line got something?
Yeah. Hey, this Aaron. I kind of feel what you're saying. About your dad, you said, or your grandpa?
My grandfather, then my mother's generation, then my generation.
Right. Can you hit it on the nail one more time for me? And I'm gonna jump in on what you're saying. My
grandfather lived a certain lifestyle. For those, a lot of y'all don't know my grandfather. My grandfather owned a house my whole life. So I'm born in 1968. So they owned a house my whole life. They didn't like the neighbor's house, so they bought that house, tore that motherfucker down, built a garage. They liked taking trips to Florida because that's where they were from, and they would go down and see the family on maybe a yearly or a biannual basis. You know what I'm saying? Or every other year. Let me say it that way. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather never lacked for a car, neither did my grandmother. When he wanted to make trips to Florida, he decided to buy himself a van. Right? So he all of a sudden got into liking motorcycles. He was able to buy a motorcycle. So his little bit of money was able to purchase a lot. So then now we move to my mother's life. Where in my branch of the family, she is the elder for me. Right? Of course, she got older brothers. But her lifestyle is good, but it's not as good as my grandfather's lifestyle. And I'm looking at where my mother was, and I'm almost making as much as she was when she was working. Almost. I'm gonna surpass her ass soon. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, she's at a certain level, and she's only able to live her life, and not at the level where my grandparents live, but it's all right. And I'm looking at my life, and I'm up under her. And it's like, whoa. Hold on, we got this whole descending pattern going on. And it's not just me. It's not just me. It would be different if I was talking to people and they'd be like, boom, boom, boom. It was different. But it's not just me. And I'm like, damn, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Do you understand where I'm at now?
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, man, I got so much in my head to say that I just got to get it out the right way and not get mad about it. I used to think the same thing because, you know, it was common that my dad's peoples and their people, everybody was homeowners or had a house or had this and stuff. They was able to pass stuff down. And, like, the times we in now, can't nobody really, like, pass that down and nobody really had the stuff that they had and they made less. I'm trying to get it out the right way out of my head, but I really can't. It's like what I'm thinking I'm seeing out here is that they created an economy. It's like an economy distraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking that word up. And they created an economy off our pretty much our slavery, like statues, clothing, this and that, and it kind of slowed us down, you know, from doing a lot of things. And they made money off our history instead of us. It's like we're always going back to keep learning and learning and learning. And I believe our grandparents, they kept moving and moving. But we're going back and learning and learning and learning, and we're not learning from them to move on. And I believe in it creating a history economy. And that's all we're stuck on is about history. We're not trying to make history. But go ahead.
Ooh. Not trying to make history. Right? So now, I'm going to keep on reading now. But getting back to this racial wealth gap, look at the numbers, family. This is not me. We really need to look at the numbers. Because we have to understand that America was built, and please, fact check me. Come back and tell me that I'm lying. Prove it to me. America was built on the failure of you. And anytime that you as a group, we as a group, made any strides, they did whatever they could to destroy that shit because they knew, this is what they need us for. One, we're bottom caste that they can always send new people or get their own people to make money off. Boom. Very simple, right? But what we mask is the failure of America overall. See, because you got to understand, when you look at this college shit, one of the issues about this college shit, far as these white folks is coming out, what's going on is that some white folks thought that they was doing good until they start hearing these numbers about these motherfuckers able to spend $500,000 to get their child into school. How the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's some white people mad on the couch right now. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You look, because you know that shit don't affect me because I'm like, God damn, $500,000 to get in? I mean, just to get in? Oh, man, come on. All right, so let's read this. Which shows that the median white household is 10 times wealthier than the median black one. And family, and then I'm gonna move on, Aaron, and everybody to listen to me. Please understand, Napoleon Hill, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar, and even right now up to this day, Tony Robbins, the hip hop pastor, when they're doing their motivational speeches, please understand, family, they're not talking to you. Took me a long time to figure that shit out. See, because you got to understand, when Napoleon Hill wrote his book, the one question that was on white people's mind is, how could you not succeed as a white man when we have a whole group of individuals that we holding back for your ass? They don't get the same. They don't get to move in the neighborhoods. We redline their ass up out of there. You don't have to compete against them for the jobs. Hell, you could basically walk up in their community, take what the fuck you want, and you might get off scot-free if you don't get too arrogant about the shit. So when Napoleon Hill wrote his book, he was looking around at these white people like, how the fuck you broke when we got a whole caste system set up for you to succeed? You not grinding hard enough. Then we took that shit to heart and be like, damn, I'm not getting up early enough. I'm not working long enough. I'm not, no. Come on now. It's not you. It's not you. Now, some of your shit is holding you back, but I need you to understand there's a system that's set in place to hold your ass where you are. And when you start recognizing it and start seeing it, you start learning how to maneuver around it. And since a lot of us don't see it, we keep bumping into the shit not knowing. Family, step back. Wipe the illusion from your eyes and start seeing the fucking reality. So that you can make sure that your children get what they deserve. If not for you, at least for our children. But go ahead.
Let me jump in on that.
Huh?
Jump in on that.
Go ahead.
Let me jump in on that real quick. I'm warming up. It's like I'm going on like 10 years at my job, and who is this? It's like a 3 category. These days, I think it's a lot of people retiring, pretty much across the world. You had your pop's generation was called something. They passed it on to you. Your generation was called something. You got the new heads, us. So I'm going to work, and when we're in there, the young heads are in there fighting for more money, more raises, and like we over here, it's the young people that's talking up in all these meetings and these jobs, like every month trying to get more money, more raise. The older heads, no offense against nobody, are not saying nothing. I'm noticing that in these meetings. I'm looking around. They never say nothing. They're about to retire. So what I'm saying is that some of us young dudes like, man, if they spoke up a long time ago, we wouldn't have to come here and fight for these raises, and we're going to have to get looked at more. But the problem is people don't understand the difference between a student and a follower. You know, a lot of people follow, and they think they learn something, but no, you're a follower, and you're not a student of the person that you're following, and you're not becoming greater. So we're coming to work, and we're a student to old heads and teaching us about the job, but we want to be better, and we want to get paid more money. If you see what I'm trying to say, it's like we're just like, how come they didn't fight for more money at these jobs or better positions? How come y'all ain't in these positions? And we're coming here barking and yelling, and we getting looked at like these kids these days, they just talk crazy. No, we got to talk crazy because them folks didn't fight.
They wasn't fighting. You know what I'm saying? Because because like I said, man, it's like in The Godfather, and I always go back to this. Make your enemies. What did he say? Make your enemies. Keep your enemies close. Keep your family, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. In order to keep your enemies close, you got to keep them comfortable. Because as long as the enemy's comfort is based on you, there's a good chance that the enemy won't kill you, because that would eliminate their comfort. And for a lot of our elders, a lot of them were close to and were very comfortable, and for them to rock the boat would mess up their comfort level. And we can't really get mad at them about that shit, because they was cool and their immediate family was cool. And with the lessons that was passed down to our generations, like, because I want you to think about this. I come from the era of money, M-O-B. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of y'all, that just spelled mob, but for me, it was money over bitches, money over everything. It's all about you. Get yours. Get it how you live. This is the generation this is the shit that came up in my generation and they was telling us, boy, you got to get out. You know what I'm saying? So it was all about you. And we fell into that illusion where it's all about me, and because it's all about me, I ain't got to worry about the next generation coming up. So I'm going to suck this motherfucker for all that I could get. And that's the mind state that a lot of our elders are holding on to, and a lot of people moving in those positions are holding on to, and not really realizing that this is a group struggle. When you're talking about, on average, the median, I want to just think about this. Namely, the increase of academic understanding of and public attention to the ways a history of slavery and discrimination has fueled disparities like the racial wealth gap, which shows that the median This means that the exact middle white family holds 10 times more wealth than the black one. How's that possible? So that means, I ain't even gonna go into that. Let's just read a little bit more. This shit is getting crazy. These changes, coupled with a wave of grassroots activism around racial inequality and economic injustice, have helped produce a shift in mainstream attention to reparations. That attention intensified after some 2020 Democrats candidate comments on reparations to the New York Times and Washington Post last month. So far, a handful of candidates have expressed some level of support for reparations. Listen, Senator Kamala Harris, Democrat, California; Elizabeth Warren, Democrat, I think it's Maryland; and former Housing and Urban Development Secretary Julian Castro have called the issue important or acknowledged how history supports calls for restitution. Now, you got to be careful on that shit because we're going to read a little bit farther. Senator Cory Booker, Democrat, New Jersey, has been running on a policy that would help close the racial wealth gap. And we need to look at his plan because now, family, once again, this whole universal bullshit, nix it. Universal income, we have that talking points from this point on. Y'all ain't doing universal shit until you take care of us. Till you handle your business with us. As they say in the mafia, when you start receiving the protection of the mafia, right? You start receiving it, right? I don't care what happens. I did my job. Fuck you. Pay me. I don't want to hear about everybody else. Allow us to wet our beak, right? Allow us, not even allow. You gonna give us, you gonna pay me what you owe. You know what I'm saying? Fuck we got to be willing to make people uncomfortable because we have to have these discussions because the whole piece is everybody that's in America benefited from slavery. Everybody. Well, I never owned slaves. Some of you smart motherfuckers gonna say that. So, I never owned slaves, and I never was a slave. So why are we still talking about it? Nigga, the very infrastructure of this country was built by slaves. The very wealth that your ass or that somebody was able to go to the bank and borrow is coming from slavery. All this shit is a result of America being able to take advantage of our ancestors. All this shit comes from America being able to lock out your ancestors. So let's talk about slavery. Wealth was built there. Then, after slavery, we were released in a sense, but we weren't allowed to compete. So there was 100 free years of you not being able to compete. And then, even in that 100 years, when you start doing shit, and we was able to put shit together, taking the little bits and pieces like Aaron do, when he working with them batteries and figuring shit out, when we did, you came in, they let the government allow motherfuckers to come in without any consequences and destroy the shit if they could. Now, you tell me, if slavery was supported by the government, if Jim Crow was supported by the government, if racial violence was supported by the motherfucking government, then the government don't own me? You ain't been doing your job. I'm getting taxation without representation, and so did my dad, so did my grandfather, and in every war that was ever fought here, we were involved. As a matter of fact, we were the linchpin upon which the victory and the dominance of this country come from. You take us up out the equation, this is just another poor... Matter of fact, y'all might not even have survived the Native Americans. Get the fuck up out of here. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. You
hey, brother, can I say something real quick?
Yes, sir.
My views on that right there is basically like, Jews got reparations because a lot of the shit is controlled by Jews. You know what I mean? So until we reach a point where, in this country, where, we represent the majority in government and, where them decisions is being actually made, then that point will probably come. But right now, we don't have nobody that's representing us, or we don't hold the majority. to where we can force those issues into action. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to come a time in history where, that is on the table for us. But right now, I think it's just really unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? And even thinking that, of course, we definitely got to keep that talk going on until, that point reaches itself. But, I feel like, we're doing a lot on our own. Like, it's more black businesses in America right now than it ever has been in history. It's more money flowing through black hands than it ever has been at any point in history right now. You know what I'm saying? We could do a lot.
I challenge that.
But asking or trying to get reparations from somebody who basically supported slavery, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, I don't really see that's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I know I'm still, learning things. I'm young, you know what I'm saying? I really don't grasp the situation as a whole. You know what I'm saying? I'm just learning from what my generation is experiencing. You know what I'm saying? But I just kind of feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's like wasted energy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if we was putting in, like I said, of course we gotta keep them conversations alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still, until we reach that point in history. But I just feel like the control balance is unbalanced. We're not in them decision making. You know what I'm saying? Positions.
Hold on. So now, let me say this to you, and I want you to think about this as a young man. You like gangster movies? Were you one of those that like gangster movies? Do you hear me?
Sorry, my bad. I put you back on mute. Yeah, I done seen them all.
All right, now check this out. All I'm saying is the conversation. We have not been having a conversation. We have been allowing motherfuckers to sidestep the discussion. And all we're saying right now is that shit is not cool. You're right. I don't control votes, but I can control my mouth, and I can control discussions. And we do have people in prominent positions that need to be having these very same talking points. Because at one point in time, us being able to walk around like we was very improbable. You understand what I'm saying? But somebody
I definitely feel that. And I could give you a personal example. Like, my dad, I was telling Aaron this the other day. My dad he was an elected official in Los Angeles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he was a city councilman, and he almost made it to become a mayor. You know what I'm saying? His name is Martin Ludlow. Some people might know him. You know what I'm saying? He ended up catching a case or whatever, so he got banned from politics. But, he was an elected official. And I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I'm talking to my daughter, real life here on Gye-Nyame Journey. Keep on going, bro.
Oh yeah, I feel it.
Loosen up. Go on. I'm listening, bro.
Oh, no, I was saying, like, he's an elected official, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I kind of seen his, you know what I'm saying, like, what he was doing and with his power or whatever. And it was nothing about talking about reparations and, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. It was, he was doing other things like working with gangs and, you know what I'm saying, getting kids up out of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he was mainly focused on. But, he actually had a voice. And, you know what I'm saying? He really, you know what I'm saying? To me, he really wasn't really talking about none of that stuff. I'm not saying he didn't have an impact or whatever or what he was doing in his area. You know what I'm saying? But
and
he wasn't really talking about.
And it's time. See, because we got to understand timing. Because right now, I want you to think about this. When the last time you heard in a presidential campaign, maybe even as young as you, and you can go back and ask your dad, when have you heard people campaigning for office coming to the black community to talk about the idea of reparations? We have more power than we actually realize. And what we have to understand is that this is not a short-term fight. And, brother, I want you to say this, because I don't know how old you are. I'm old. I'm 50. I'm 51. Right? They say by 2053, black wealth will be at zero. The median wealth level for black families, if everything goes as it is now, is at zero. That means that we will not have enough money to even exist in America.
I believe it. I believe it with the way we spend, you know what I'm saying? And how we don't really save and how, like, you know what I'm saying?
I would challenge you on that.
Stuff is not taught.
This is why it's important for some of the research, right? Family, if you look at some of the research, we save more than everybody. But the issue is that a lot of times we get hit, we get sideswiped by life because we don't have the wealth to take care of shit. Whenever anything happens, we got to dip into our savings. And probably everybody in this conversation right now is experiencing that shit right now. Whenever, see, it's different when you start building wealth, when you start building wealth, and you don't have, and you're unimpeded, but we become impeded by stuff, right? So we have to spend, or we got family that is poor because wealth. Because I want you to understand this: wealth is a community property. I can't be wealthy by myself. You know what I'm saying? I can have a lot of money by myself. But wealth means that my neighbors and my people and a lot of people around me have enough money to survive. And this is what we're talking about in America. We were cut off from even being able to build. And just because it might appear improbable does not mean that we do not start training our young babies and start training young people like yourself to start speaking about it, because we will be cashed out of this motherfucker if we don't say nothing. If we play along just to get along. We need to start making people feel uncomfortable when they address our issues, talking about universal issues. Family, Aaron's sitting right there with you. He's a scientist. Ask Aaron if you're not a scientist, because you hang with Aaron, you're probably a scientist. If I have 2 beakers, right, and I got one beaker with 5 milliliters of water in it and a little thing floating on to represent people, and I got another beaker that's empty, and it's a little piece of thing, floating thing in there that represents people. If I was to take 5 milliliters and pour it in the one that's empty, would it be equal? Would it be equal to the other beaker? Would the little floating piece be in the equal space with the other beaker?
No.
Yes. If I pour water just in that one, right? But if we allow them to talk this universal shit, I want you to think about this. 5 milliliters, right? If one is empty, the other one has 5 milliliters. I do some universal shit. I pour 5 milliliters in the one that already got 5 milliliters, and I pour 5 milliliters in the one that's empty. Have I balanced it out? Is it equal now?
I don't really.
honestly,
though, I don't really understand. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it one.
Yeah, I think I see what you're trying to say about the media, but I mean, I see what you're trying to say, but I want to see what you're trying to say.
What I'm trying to say is when we're talking about our issues, we can't allow them to drain and drown out our issues with everybody else's issues, because this is what usually happens.
I like because he speaks of my art a lot. You know, a lot of people ain't on that PA scale, that my art scale, that make the laws of my art. The balance is like people don't get that balance thing, you know. But he go ahead.
Hold on. So Sister Kim is calling from Africa. I'm gonna let her go down. I'm gonna let Brother Kwame. Sister Kim, can you hear me? We got 2 unknown callers on here.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then we got another unknown caller. I don't know who that is. All right. Well, they can just listen in. Brother Kwame, you called in, so I must have hit on something that you want to talk about.
No, a lot of times when you're explaining those concepts of universalism, you have to keep it in terms of money. So, for example, if you have $10 to Sister Kim's $2 or to Sister Kim's $1, and universally I say I'm going to double everybody's income, right? Or I'm going to double what everybody has. Now all of a sudden you have 20. And Sister Kim has 2. Now, is 20 equal to 2? Hell no. Because you'll take $20 every time before you take 2.
Right.
Unless that 20 is going to get you killed. But the point being is that in order to equal something like that out, if you're going to give Sister Kim, if I'm going to give Brother Hatim $10, that would put him at 20. In order to equal things out, then I'm going to have to give Sister Kim 19.
Right. I like that, because that's like saying
understand
that's like saying Mayweather, Jay-Z, they black. You know, should you give them the same amount of money? I mean, that's where it comes to like, oh, now they got to stop. You know, we got tax brackets out here. Some people doing damn good, like you said. Some black business owners, and it's gonna create arguments. Like, hold on, brother, I fought hard for this. I deserve it too, but you're a millionaire, so it's gonna create problems. But go ahead.
Now, and I want to say this, because we get caught up on outliers. What they present before us are outliers of black wealth, and that's very dangerous for us, because we start reflecting and thinking that the outliers are the normal. Now, for example, there are a lot of black businesses, but 95% of those black businesses have no employees. So is it really a business, or is it a side hustle? You understand what I'm saying? We got to start being honest about that shit, right? How many of us, if we look at the numbers, how many of us are really in the high tax brackets? See, because I'll be having, because I made a lot of donations to Taiwi. Well, at least a lot of donations came through me to Taiwi, which is a nonprofit organization, and I gave it to Taiwi, but I did my taxes and I lost the paper, so I called the elder and said, "Can you send me the tax paper?" The elder got me the paper like 2 days later, and I looked at it and I said, "Damn!" So I did my taxes, thinking that, damn, all right, well, I did all right, but I couldn't even use the goddamn tax deductions because it really ain't make no impact. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not in the tax. Go ahead.
Amen.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, I mean, shit, because I did the same thing.
So, and I know I'm not the only one. I did, it was like $1,500. It was $1,500. I'm like, cool, I'm going to take this, put this on, this tax deductible. No, not for my broke ass, is not. And for a majority of us, is not. So when they start talking tax credits and talking all this shit, you got to be making some real dough before you even touched by that shit. And we got to be clear on that. When we talking black folks and we talking black talk, we got to start being honest. Most of these motherfuckers that's doing good around us are doing creditly good. There's a difference between creditly good and real wealth. See, real wealth is, I could go to my grandparents and be like, yo, I want to get a house, and they'd be like, well, how much you paying? $250,000. All right, we'll give you $10,000. We'll give you 10% for your down payment. How many of y'all was able to do that? Speaking of wealth, there's a major wealth transfer of $68 trillion that's supposed to be happening soon between the boomers and Generation X right now, or lower generations. And the question I got to ask everybody on my line, how many of us are going to be part of that big boom of $68 trillion coming down?
Oh, yeah, we planning to be a part of that for sure.
No, what I'm saying is, but in reality,
I don't agree with none of that stuff, man. I mean, I just keep it 100, right?
Go ahead.
Y'all starting to know me. Y'all know I'm against education. I'm against pseudoscience. I'm against this stupid ass money. I mean, I come from the hurricane era. I mean, Florida, they got hurricanes. Money don't do nothing out here. Louisiana, they got flooded. You be a rich nigga in the dark. But the thing is, it's like what it is that it's the element that I was talking to Quasi about. To create freedom and get away from the depressor is not getting money and spending it at Home Depot and Lowe's, and getting a permit, and to ask them about the property line to put this over here. You still got that stuff that still exists. The thing is what's free is the law of nature, and that's electricity and free water. That's the first thing we need. Give us our free electricity, our free water. That creates a good balance. Everybody good on that end. And then everybody can work on trying to look into some other stuff. Like, I ask anybody, like, what you gonna do with $2 million? What do you first thing, I'm gonna get a chicken and cow, some land. Y'all ain't know how to do some of that stuff. But what we do not do is have free electricity and free water. We can start there. It's a good thought, but it's the wrong movement.
But we do know how to do that. We do know how to do that stuff.
What's about freedom from God. We talk this God first. It's free water, free electricity first. And then we can talk about all that money stuff. That's a good way to help us out first. And then we can talk child support, APRs, and all that stuff. But these people still got property lines. You got to get permits and stuff. People got to wake up and think they homeowners. You still got to go to Home Depot and Lowe's. Still got to call a contractor. You still getting it right back to them. And then what? Boom, here comes a hurricane. Here comes disaster. You a rich nigga in the dark because you don't understand about the electromagnetism that I be speaking of. You don't know about this free water. So go ahead.
601, is that Quasi? Quasi, you on the line? Keep on stomping. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. I'm sorry. Keep on stomping up there. Man, family, I'm trying to have a conversation with the family. My children is tripping. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me get back into this article a little bit. Oh, now you slamming doors? You don't pay them doors? Lord have mercy. All right. Senator Cory Booker has been running on a policy that will help close the racial wealth gap, while Senator Bernie Sanders has declined to support reparations but argues that his focus on policies helping distressed communities in general will particularly aid black communities. The candidate most fervently backing reparation is Marianne Williamson, a self-help guru and spiritual advisor who wants to set aside $100 billion to $500 billion for reparations programs. Several high-profile candidates have acknowledged the damage of slavery, the century of legalized oppression, terrorism, disenfranchisement that followed, and how the vestiges of those systems remain embedded in society in practice such as mass incarceration. Some candidates have also noted that reparations, the process of apologizing and providing restitution to those harmed by slavery and its legacy, will serve as payment for a debt America has yet to truly acknowledge 150 years after emancipation. They stopped short of actually calling for reparation programs. Instead, experts say that some candidates have muddied the waters by framing universal programs that will help black community as a form of reparations, which they aren't. The discussion has touched a long-standing debate about what the United States owes the descendants of enslaved men and women, a population that has been systematically denied wealth and opportunity in a country built with stolen labor of their ancestors. On stolen land, I added that part. Surveys of black voters in recent years have found that this group is dealing with high levels of racial anxiety and are looking for candidates who can speak directly to issues of race and justice, including economic justice. Reparations have not been listed as a priority by black Americans in recent polling, but the current debate could change that. Debate also provides important insights into how candidates talk about race inequality. I think the reparations discussion helps to open up a broader conversation about the fact that centuries of discriminatory policies have prevented mobility among black communities, says Adrian Shropshire, the executive director of Black PAC, a group that works to engage and mobilize black voters. Still, she says that how the candidates have discussed the issue so far lacks substance. I agree. The mere willingness of some Democrat candidates to say they support reparations reflect a shift from recent years. President Barack Obama did not endorse reparations or support creating reparation program. In 2016, Sanders and Hillary Clinton, the eventual Democratic nominee, also did not support reparations. Sanders in particular was criticized for focusing his opposition on the fact that reparations were divisive and would not pass Congress. Bernie Sanders is Jewish, y'all. I just have to throw that out there. Bernie Sanders is Jewish. And somebody just mentioned that the Jews didn't they get reparations?
Exactly. They control everything. You know, right now in this era, you know what I'm saying, in these last 100 to 200 years, the Jews control the shit. You know, the music, the movies, everything right now. That's why they get their reparations. So
well, we about to get ours. Just hang on, young man. We about to get our shit. I'm just letting you know. See, because now
I feel like our time is coming. It's the you know what I'm saying, we coming back around full circle. You know what I'm saying? Blacks used to control everything in this world at one point in time, and you know what I'm saying? Certain things happen. We've been fucked up for the last 1,000 years, but we gonna rule for another 100,000 years. You know what I'm saying? When them tides turn again, that's what I truly feel and believe.
Well, hey, I'm like this, man.
You just asked the question: did the Jews did the Jews get reparations? Look, man, for all intents and purposes, we paid reparations to Germany, and thus to the Jews for Germany.
That's right.
We paid reparations to Japan for bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right.
We paid reparations to North Korea. Hell, we paid reparations to everybody who's warred against us. And let me rephrase that. We've paid the United States, our ancestors, and us have paid reparations to everybody who's warred against the United States.
So, you know, like I said, because it's just a minor shift that we have to make in our thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit is and I want people to understand this. I'm not just talking about for 2020. This is not just an argument for the 2020. I'm talking about we need soldiers. We need warriors that's thinking about this for the next 50 to 300 years. If we don't get it in this lifetime, because we got to understand, family, what we are involved in on a whole nother, we are involved in a generational battle. And because we think that everything is invested in the generation that we in just now, in this now moment, right? Because this is why I try to make people understand when I'm pouring libations in the now, but I'm solidifying a pact with the past and the future. It ain't all it's about me getting busy in this moment, because I know that I have ancestors that I have to represent, and I have children that I have to build for. So in a sense, my life is not my own. So for me to sit up here and be like, it's a futile battle, is for me to, in a sense, to commit treason against my past and my future generations. I refuse
and I feel all of that. That's, you know what I'm saying? That all of that you just said is what I wake up and I feel my ancestors empowering me every day. And I already know that all the hard work I'm doing in my lifetime, you know, it's not for me. It's for my kids, my grandkids, all the future. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm understanding that already.
But we speak about ancestors, and we know we speak of my aunt. You know, I like Kemet and cosmology of Kemet. But what the ancestors, they ain't worry about no daggone money. They speak of this. They do the stuff that I'm talking about. You know, that real stuff comes from the earth that's infinite, water, electricity. This stuff stops us from the earth for 40 to 80 hours. This stuff can stop people. I'm talking about you don't gotta do full time no more. When you see that tear in your mama's eyes, it means your rent's good, right? You gotta keep the lights on. You know, so now you talking about, all right, bro, you got free electricity, free water, get rid of taxes. Boom. All right, do you need to work for 80 hours now? No, you do not. What makes a president? Residence. What makes a king? A crown. What makes home? Water and electricity. You know what I mean? What makes a job? Employees. I'm gonna stop, man.
Nah, and I'm gonna say this.
I dig it, Aaron. I dig it, bro. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you, bro, for our generation, you're like an Einstein, bro. Like, everybody is not going to understand that on a simple level. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna have to be the leader in that. You know what I'm saying? And really showing people the value and how it's like real. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to have to make it practical is what it's about.
Practical.
I mean, and from what I've heard you say thus far, you know how to do that. But again, in order to get even a significant amount of us, working within that realm, that even takes work.
I appreciate it. I'm like, okay, brother, to you. I love you, first of all. I don't mean to cut you off, but I got to. Because one thing you ain't gonna never hear the government say. You're going to hear other people say this. Hey, we running out of electricity, y'all. I need y'all to save up some electricity next year. Because we are paying and they're charging us for electricity. What I'm saying is they getting it from the earth, from the source.
Right.
And they're
charging us.
What I'm trying to say is that they're never going to say, we're running out of water, because it's free to them, and they use the word charge. Use the word charge us. There's lightning in the sky. There's lightning in your body. This is what Tesla was dying for, and I'm trying to speak up.
Now check this out. And let me state this. Reparations is more than money. Now, the money is what a lot of people understand. They don't understand the other aspects of it. And for those people that need to get a better understanding, one example is go to ados.com and look up the Black Agenda. Please understand that when I'm talking about reparations, I'm not just talking about money. See, because wealth, as you know, Aaron, is bigger than just money. Like you said, you know what I'm saying? A motherfucker come and rob the bank and take all the money. You know what I'm saying? It's about having access to those basic resources, or at least being able to have some basic resources that you could work with. And now, one of the resources just happen to be money. You know what I'm saying? Because I think a lot of our investigations and a lot of this shit that you're talking about as well, you know what I'm saying, could be funded.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, what can you offer Bill Gates? Honestly, nobody can answer that. I can't. You can't offer Bill Gates nothing. What can you offer a person that is money? Nothing. He wants chaos. He wants confusion. He wants to manipulate the weather. He wants to trick you on these vegetables and this GMO stuff. You can't, man, people can hear a Mustang coming out the street, oh, that's a B12. But you can't look at a vegetable and tell it's fake from a real. You can tell a fake from real and Louis Vuitton, oh, that's pleasant, that's real. But you can't walk in a grocery store. They love chaos. And they think oh, give them some money. Money ain't, man, it does. Listen to the rich people. It doesn't make nobody happy. Give us back what is free and that's infinite first, and let us decide. But if you saying that if it ain't about money, then I'm listening.
No, I'm saying it ain't just about money. Because everybody ain't going to get what, like I said, I'm like this. It ain't just about money. It's other things too. But like I said, go to ADOS101.com and check that out. But family, listen, I got to get up to the school, and so I'm going to have to go on and I'm going to have to go on and stop the show, man. But shoot, I want to thank everybody for calling in.
Late.
You said who?
I'm going to be late.
Yeah, you out there partying because the Nubians won. Y'all think y'all tough, man.
Are you?
But that's cool. They won the state. This is the now is this the middle school or this the high school?
No, this is the high school. I had two nieces who played for the high school. Remember, I'm with my wife at South.
Oh, but you ain't cheering South on.
South boys are still in the mix, so
okay.
We'll see what they.
All right, but yo, family, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. We'll finish the article tomorrow because I should have more time tomorrow. I've been invited over one of my elders' houses, so I probably will be waking up very late tomorrow. Just saying.
Hold up, bro.
Huh?
We got what's today?
Today is the 16th. We don't have.
Oh shoot! I thought we had divine conversation.
No. We just had Parak last week, so we straight. So we're gonna sit down. We're gonna commune today. When the young boys get there, when the young men get there, when the warriors get there, I'm gonna have them order the food. We're gonna continue the conversation about the mall. Excuse me, baby. It's real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey. Goddamn. Please. I appreciate you want to play music, but you ain't got to play music while I'm... All right, here we go. Hold on. Let me get my thought back. We're going to finish talking about the mall, the Malcolm X Festival, and any other discussions that we need to have. And if we have time, we're going to dive into some of the exercises. I still got to get the martial art instructor. I got to get another martial art instructor. I can't, because we got to do that. And just get to work. We working. So family, I want to thank everybody. Those that want to get their ancestors on the list, join the Black Signal. Hit us up at G&J. Text G&J to 25456. G&J to 25456. After you text that in, listen very closely, and you get a signal back from me, then that means we can communicate. You can type in your ancestors' names. It'll come to me, and then, like I said, I eventually will get, because I check my message board at least once a week, right? If you want it quicker, inbox me on Gye-Nyame Journey. Inbox on Gye-Nyame Journey. Start a conversation with me on Gye-Nyame Journey, and I will be able to get your ancestors on there as quick as possible. I want to thank all those that tuned in, all those that took the time. I'm going to give the guest the final word. So somebody grab the mic.
I just want to thank you for allowing me to get on here and conversate with you. And, you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely going to be tuning in. This is my first time ever listening. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely enjoying the conversation, and I'm gonna definitely be tuning in from now on. So,
yes, sir. Welcome to the family.
I appreciate it.
You ain't got no closing words, Kwame?
One love.
601. You got any closing words? Somebody else on here? All right, family. I guess that's it. So with that, I want you to remember that you are in a place where your hustle builds muscle. This is the Congregation of the Mighty. You are now listening to Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know this has been a Daily Toast, and we smashed another one. And this is a Heart of a Simba production. Oh, you ain't gonna say it? Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms. I'm out, fam.
Huh? You want some McDonald's?